Good morning. Once again, Kenny Jacobs from Bloomington, Illinois. I'm going to do another video today talking about current events as it relates to Bible prophecy and the soon return of Jesus Christ. First of all, I'm going to read out of an article in the Telegraph, and this is just kind of a sad little Signs of the Times article right here. I've said on this article for about a week, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit today. The title of the article is Aborted Babies Incinerated to Heat UK Hospitals. It says the remains of more than 15,000 babies were incinerated as clinical waste by hospitals in Britain, with some used in waste-to-energy plants. It goes on to say the bodies of thousands of aborted and miscarried babies were incinerated as clinical waste, with some even used to heat hospitals, an investigation has found. 10 NHS trusts have admitted burning remains alongside other rubbish, while two others used the bodies in waste-to-energy plants, which generate power for heat. At least 15,500 remains were incinerated by 27 NHS trusts over the last 2 years alone. They were brought in from another hospital before being burned, generating energy for the hospital site. Oh boy. And then it goes on to say that the mothers were told that their babies had been cremated. Another sign of love of many growing cold, like Matthew 24 says, and just evilness and cold-heartedness taking over the whole planet and mankind. Unbelievable. I'm going to skip on over to another article about a different related issue. This one's going to talk about Homeland Security. This is out of Infowars.com. And again, I'm going to post all these articles in the description box so you can check them out for yourself. The title of this article, Homeland Security Exercise Targets Free Americans Against Socialist Tyranny. Leaked documents reveal plan to counter online dissent during martial law. It's amazing how much our government is preparing for martial law right now. And what's even more amazing is, with all the information out there to prove that they are, most people in America just want to put their heads in the sand and think that it could never happen. But the article goes on to say, leaked Homeland Security documents obtained by Infowars reveals details of a joint DHS-Fema national exercise set to take place this week. One of the components of which revolves around an effort to counter online dissent by a group called Free Americans Against Socialist Tyranny, which is disgruntled at the imposition of martial law after an earthquake in Alaska. First of all, we live in America. Can you imagine our government would be worried about a group called Free Americans Against Socialist Tyranny? We shouldn't have to worry about that here in America, but obviously we do. And if you watch my videos, I update the earthquakes almost every day, and they're preparing for a big earthquake in Alaska, but I can assure you there's some big earthquakes coming all around this country, and probably sooner than you think. All you have to do is track it every single day. But again, it goes on to say the document underscores the federal government's obsession with characterizing libertarians and conservatives as some kind of extremist radical threat. It says the document is intended for U.S. Department of Homeland Security trusted agents only and is disseminated only on a need-to-know basis. Even the role players involved in the exercise itself are prohibited from seeing the files. The exercise is designated to evaluate readiness in preparation for a catastrophic event, natural disaster, or major act of terrorism. Some of the scenarios which will be in play during the exercise include a series of earthquakes, tsunamis, and a nuclear weapons accident. On page 125 of the document, a scenario is outlined whereby a group called Free Americans Against Social Tyranny responds to the U.S. Northern Command mission of defense support to civil authorities, or the imposition of martial law, by launching a protest campaign on social media and potentially engaging in cyber attacks. It's amazing what our government is planning and how all of a sudden people who believe in freedom here in America have become enemies to the state. So I'm going to go down to another article that I've looked at before, and I'm going to pull it back up here again. This one is called 85 Things That Might Get You on a DHS Terror Watch List. I'm sure I'm on this watch list because all the ones I'm going to read... actually, let me go to a different article. This is... let's do this one. You might be a domestic terrorist if... On this one, I pretty much everything I'm going to read to you right here. So I'm sure I'm on their watch list. Proud of it. I stand for freedom and I stand for the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I'm proud to be on this list. Here it is. Expressions of libertarian philosophies. Having a statement, making statements, or having a bumper sticker, for example. Second Amendment-oriented views, or an NRA gun membership. You know, if you believe in your Second Amendment rights given to you by the Constitution, then you must be an enemy of the state. Survivalist literature, or books such as Patriots, or 1 Second After, are mentioned by name. Self-sufficiency, stockpiling food, ammo, hand tools, medical supplies. Yeah, you wouldn't want to stockpile food when it looks like the dollar is going to collapse. It'd be silly to actually want to prepare for something. Instead, the government's going to put you on a watch list if you do that. Fear of economic collapse by buying gold or barter items. Again, yeah, you wouldn't want to be prepared. The government doesn't want you to be prepared for what's coming. And if they would handle the economy right, we wouldn't have to worry about fear of economic collapse. Religious views concerning the book of Revelation, belief in the Antichrist and the apocalypse. Again, yeah, they don't want you to worry about that because people who believe in that are the restrainer. They're the ones who are keeping the New World Order from being totally implemented. Expressed fears of Big Brother or Big Government. Homeschooling. At one point, we homeschooled one of my children. Declaration of constitutional rights and civil liberties. That's amazing. We live in America, but if you declare your constitutional rights and civil liberties, you could be a terrorist and a threat to the state. And belief in a New World Order conspiracy. I can assure you the New World Order is not a conspiracy. It's a reality. And it's a reality that is almost upon us. One more quick article. Ukraine says 100,000 Russian troops are near their border. I'm not going to go into detail on this one, but I will attach this to the article, or to the video. But nearly 100,000 Russian forces have massed on the Ukrainian border, a top Ukrainian defense official told an American audience Thursday, giving a number far higher than the U.S. military estimates, although some U.S. military estimates are at 80,000. But the point of that is Russia is calling those drills, just like our government is calling these Fema and DHS operations right now drills. And I can assure you, you can call them drills if you want, but what they are is preparation for a plan they are going to carry out. It's not a drill that they hope to never do. It's plans for what's going to happen. And that is absolutely a fact. And if you just take some time and research this stuff, the information's out there. But more importantly, all this information is right here. It's all been prophesied to happen. And it's happening every day, guys. Last little thing. This one's just kind of a little extra I'm going to throw in here. But the Obama administration is still blaming the lack of people signing up for Obamacare due to website problems. And Harry Reid is now blaming the older people on not having enough skills of using the internet to actually sign up. And that's why they're blaming low numbers. And they still maintain that they don't even know the exact number of people who are enrolled. Harry Reid likes to blame the American people for an awful lot of problems. And then recently said the American people are lying when they say they've lost their health care. He said the horror stories about Obamacare are lies. And now he's blaming us on not knowing how to use the internet. Maybe it's just American people can't afford Obamacare. When they get on the website, maybe that's what the problem is. Or maybe they don't want to be tracked by the government, so they're afraid to get on the website. Maybe they even know a little bit about the RFID chip that's buried in the Obamacare Act. It's eventually going to require everyone to have an RFID chip with your health records on it. And eventually, all your financial records. But they're making up excuses again, saying that it's not their problem, it's not the fact that it's not a good plan, that people don't want it because it's expensive and not a good plan. People are on to the fact that they're just trying to control us and track us and gain information on us. That instead, it's just they're making excuses. Sounds very, very similar to what our government did during the Benghazi, Libya attack, where our embassy was attacked and 4 Americans were killed. And they blamed it on a YouTube video. Now they're blaming the Obamacare problems on a bad website still. Guys, it is time to wake up. I have come to one conclusion. I trust Jesus alone, and I trust the Word of God. When it comes to the government, there's very little I trust anymore. This world is hurtling headlong and fast into the New World Order, the final totalitarian government that's going to include a one world government, one world economic system, and one world religion. And all it needs is the one major event to happen to implement martial law, whether it's going to be an earthquake, whether it's going to be a terrorist attack, whether it's going to be Russia moving into the Ukraine, economic collapse. I don't know, but that it is about to happen. And if you're not prepared, you need to be prepared. We are absolutely living in the last days. All the signs that Jesus said would be here right before his return are here in full force. Time is short. Let's make sure we're ready. Keep looking up. Our redemption's drawing near. God bless.